there everybody, my name is Fairy or the Hedge Witch and welcome back to my sacred space. Today I'm going to be continuing a kind of series that I've been wanting to start. I uploaded the first one I think a couple months ago at this point. I can't remember when I uploaded it. I have no concept of time. I called it Cozy Chats, and the aim of this series is to be cozy, have a hot beverage, which I do have. I want to use it as an opportunity to catch up, and then I just kind of want to have a casual chat about something that is relevant to this channel in some way. So grab a hot beverage. Today I am still drinking my morning coffee. It is, well, I guess it's my afternoon coffee now. It's just a medium roast with a splash of oat milk, so that's what I've got. And this is my mug that my best friend got me for my birthday a couple years ago. So let's get right into it. So today I'm filming during the day, so I had a bit of a struggle with the lighting, so hopefully it's decent. I know it's not as moody and dark as my videos usually are, so I hope the vibes are still passable for a cozy chat. For topics today, like I said, I just want to take this opportunity to catch up a little bit, and then I'm going to be talking about an experience I had very recently. When I'm filming this, it was literally 2 days ago. It was a very interesting chain of events that led to me having a professional energy healing and Akashic records reading, and it was really fucking cool, so I really wanted to share that with you guys. But yeah, we'll get into that topic at the end, so just catching up on a couple of things first. Yeah, so first off, literally the month of January was just something. I can't remember if I mentioned this in a video or not, but I ended up taking a winterm class over winterm, which was in January. And if you guys are not familiar with what winterm is, it's basically where they take an entire 16 weeks of course content and they smash it down into 3.5 weeks in January. It is as terrible as I'm making it sound. The point is so that you can get more classes in a shorter amount of time so that you can graduate more quickly. You still get the same number of credits for doing a class in winterm, but it's just, you know, a lot faster. And I've had friends in the past who have taken winterm classes and have said that it was super easy. Going into it, I didn't think it was going to be that easy, but I also didn't expect it to be as intense as it was. I was taking a class called Issues in Religion, so it was pretty much a world religions course. We got to learn about all kinds of different religions, and then we talked a little bit about like just kind of different issues in these religions. We talked about things like women's rights, LGBTQ plus rights, violence, things like that. We did actually talk about Wicca. It was in our textbook for 2 paragraphs, so not paganism, no paganism, only Wicca, but I was still really surprised, pleasantly surprised to see that it was covered. We also talked about voodoo, and not in a like scary way, which was also really refreshing, and the professor broke it down too into Louisiana tradition versus Haitian voodoo, which is a really important distinction to make. So I was really glad that the course didn't lump them into one practice. But anyway, that class was just like absolute fucking hell. I really enjoyed learning the stuff that I had to learn in that class, but it just took up all of my time, all of my energy, and it was just a lot. So that's kind of what happened to all of January. I did get an A in that class, so that's super exciting, which means I'm now on to my last college course before I graduate, so that's really cool. I'm taking it right now. As I'm filming this, today is the 28th of February. I'm assuming you guys will see this pretty soon. So right now I'm pretty much in the middle of the semester. I'm taking it's like a liberal education course, which is super broad, but it's pretty much about like the like psychology of learning and higher education and stuff like that, and I just thought it sounded interesting, so yeah. My spring class is a lot more laid back than my winter class, so that is very helpful. I did apply for graduation last month, so I'm as long as I pass my current class, which I don't know why I wouldn't, I will be graduating in May with an associate's degree in liberal arts, I think is what it is. I don't really remember, honestly. I'm so excited to be done though. I think I've talked about my experience with college on this channel before, but I just really want to be done with it at this point. But yes, so hopefully with the hell of my winter class out of the way, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, so hopefully I'll be able to focus a little bit more on this channel. I do have a lot of plans and ideas, and I have like 1 or 2 videos sitting on my laptop right now that I need to edit still. I think one of the roadblocks for me has been doing closed captions, which I've said in a previous video are really important to me. I don't want to go like into that whole conversation again because I've already talked about it, but having closed captions on my video is really important to me for accessibility reasons, and I do them myself because I'm a very small channel and I don't have the money or resources to hire somebody to do my captions for me, but they take a really, really long time, and I really prefer to have them on my videos before they go public. But I think if I want to keep putting content out, I need to just do them as I'm able to. I keep like getting behind on captions and then not wanting to upload a new video because I have captions for like 2 other videos I need to get done. And I feel like if I put out a new video, then like I'm just digging myself into a deeper hole. So I think I just need to unbind myself from that responsibility and that timeline. I'm still planning to do closed captions for my videos. I just don't know exactly when they will be available, unfortunately. But that's just how it has to be right now, if I want to keep uploading with any sort of regular frequency. Speaking of this channel as well, it is tax return season. So with some of my tax return money, I'm planning to buy myself a new video camera. I'm really, really excited if you can't tell. I've had this camera since I was in high school, and I turned 24 in April, so it's been a while. This is the Canon Vixia HF 400 or something like that. It's an HD camcorder, but it's like a very entry-level one. I think it was under $200, so it's not like really fancy, and it has some trouble with low light, and I like to film with my lights a little bit dimmer, so I'm hoping that with the camera I'm planning to upgrade to, it'll be able to handle that a little bit better, and my video quality should be a lot better too, because again, this camera is like quite old. It must be going on 10 at this point, you know, because I did get it secondhand, so I don't know like when when it was new, but yeah, so this might be one of the last couple videos that you see of me with this camera. I'm sure I'll make a huge deal out of it when I get my new one, so just watch out for that, I guess. I am also taking an herbalism course in March. I believe it starts on the 10th. It's going to be every other week for 6 sessions, so I'm really excited. My fiance is taking it with me as well. If you guys didn't know, I work at a pagan store here, and I'm also the assistant events coordinator for the store, so pretty much anything that we're doing, including classes, like markets, anything like that is going through me, so I get to see everything that we're doing. And when this herbalism class got like put on the schedule by my boss, I was like, I need to take this. The class is supposed to cover a lot of different topics. It's called the Sustainable Witch series, I believe. So we're going to be going into like foraging, medicine creation, like tinctures and salves. I believe the last class we're going on a field trip somewhere, which is also really exciting. Like being an adult and going on a field trip, oh my god. So I'm really excited for that because herbs and herbalism are really important to my practice, but it's very overwhelming to do research because it's hard to know like where to start and all that kind of stuff. I have a very baseline knowledge of herbs and how to use them in spells, but I don't really use them for any practical purposes, like any healing or medication or anything like that. So I think it'll be really awesome to get that knowledge, especially from somebody who is an herbalist. What do you call it? Just like a master herbalist. And my partner Ruben is really excited as well. He has learned a lot of his witchcraft stuff from me, so he also doesn't know a lot about actual practical herbalism, and it hasn't really been something that he's wanted to focus on. He's still very much a beginner when it comes to witchcraft, so he's been dealing with other things. So I think it'll be really good for both of us. Yeah, one last thing I guess related to my channel, for videos that I have coming up, I have a video recorded right now on my laptop that I need to get to editing. It's been requested by a couple people, and it wasn't something that I was going to cover on my own because I thought I had already kind of covered it. But I have a video recorded about what it means to me to be a hedge witch. I kind of thought I had covered it in my first video, which was titled something along the lines of like my path and why I don't practice Wicca. But I've gotten multiple comments of people asking me to talk about what a hedge witch is. So I've done that. So I just need to get that edited, and then it'll be up, hopefully sometime in the beginning of March. I also would really like to do a video on starting a grimoire for beginners. I have focused so much on grimoire and Book of Shadow creation. I feel like I've watched like every single grimoire and Book of Shadows tour that there is on YouTube. I know I haven't, but it feels like it. I've watched hours upon hours of content. I also am subscribed to Molly Roberts on Patreon, and she does a ton of work in her grimoire. So I've seen all kinds of different spreads from her, and she also does like mini grimoires and like little side projects and stuff. So I feel like I have a very good grasp on a lot of different mediums and methods and things that you can put in your grimoire. I'm thinking of making it into a series. I had tried recording this grimoire video back in October of 2021, and it just like did not come out. There's like one in every I don't know, 10 or so videos I film, I just have to delete because they just aren't what I'm looking for. This video right now, I recorded a first take of this cozy chat like a month ago, and it just wasn't it. So, but anyway, I think it was just a little bit too much to cover in one video, even with the video being like 25 to 30 minutes of raw footage. So I think I'm gonna break that down into a couple parts. I've also had a couple other requests. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. I'll have to go look through some of my video comments. I know one of them was somebody wanted me to talk about casting a circle, and topics like that I'm not necessarily against like doing videos on that. I just feel like there are already so many resources about vague, I guess it's not a vague thing, casting a circle is very specific, but the very baseline beginner stuff like that, I feel like there's already so many resources out there, especially on YouTube. Not that I don't feel like my voice is important, but I just feel like it's already been covered in ways that I agree with and in ways that I disagree with. So I am open to covering topics like that. So if you guys have any feelings about that either way, just let me know. I don't think I'm planning to record that video until I get more people that are saying that they want videos like that. I think that's everything I have for the like personal and YouTube chat part of this video. My camera says I've been recording for almost 19 minutes, so we'll see how much of this makes it into the final video. But now moving on to the main topic, I guess. I don't want to say the meat of the video, because if I record another 19 minutes of footage, this video is going to be a year long. So as I said earlier in this video, I work at a local pagan store, and we have lots of different people that come in. They either will teach classes or they will do divination, different readings of some kind. And we've also been looking for people that do energy healing and other kinds of healing like that. So recently we had somebody come in who was doing... she does a lot of different things. But just as a baseline, I'm just gonna say she does energy healing because that's kind of the shortest way that I can describe it. She does Akashic record reading, which if you aren't familiar with Akashic records, it's kind of the the ability to like look into literally everything that has ever happened in the universe and everything that will happen. It includes, you know, other dimensions and other life forms that are not human, including like extraterrestrials, if that's something that you believe in. And it's something that you have to have a like training in, so she is trained in that. She also does like breath work, she does Reiki, like she does all kinds of stuff. We have been calling her an energy healer and an assisted spiritual guide, kind of. Her work is very difficult to describe. And she was in on Saturday when I was working, and we were kind of asking her, like, obviously, we had already, since she was there and we had hired her, like, we already knew kind of what she did, but we were just kind of chatting with her about a little bit more of an in-depth idea of what a session would look like with her. And she was kind of describing it, and I said that I thought that would be really cool, because I lately have been, for like the past month, I've been getting all these tarot cards about like, you're getting really close to a spiritual breakthrough, you're getting really close to like reaching like a new start in your life, like all of this stuff, a lot of Nine of Wands, a lot of Page of Wands. Those are like the two that were really coming up a lot. High Priestess, Mother of Cups, or Queen of Cups. My deck uses a family system instead of like King, Queen, and stuff, so that's why I said Mother of Cups. But anyway, her services are a bit out of my price range. I don't think that they're overpriced at all. It's just not really something that I can afford. Her hour-long sessions are over $200, which is pretty standard for this kind of service. So on Saturday, she had 3 sessions. The first one was with my boss, actually. My boss decided that she was just gonna go in and pay for a session so that she could get a better idea of what Michelle is the name of the healer, of what Michelle does in her sessions. Obviously, it's a little bit easier if you've had it done to you to explain it to others. She had a second session with a woman and a third session with a man. And the man missed his session. He had already prepaid for it as well, so I gave him a call, and long story short, he ended up canceling his session for the day, and he said that instead of asking for a refund, he was hoping to just gift his session to somebody. And I told him I would have to call him back. I needed to check in with my boss and with Michelle to make sure that was okay with them. And when I told them, my boss said that I should take the session. Because I had said earlier that day that I was really interested in doing a session with Michelle, but it was out of my price range. So I said yes, like I'm not going to say no to a free $200 energy healing session, especially because it was something I really felt called to do. So just a bit of a preface. Before this session, I had some healthy skepticism about things under the energy healing umbrella. I've always had a really difficult time, like, when people talk about feeling energy and like things like that, I just have never really been able to feel that. And I thought something was just wrong with me, or that people were lying, one of the two. It turns out something was wrong with me, so we'll get to that. But I've just always had definitely a lot of skepticism towards people who claim to be energy healers and people who claim to like be really into that kind of thing, I guess. So I went into the reading. She had a massage table open and it had like a fuzzy cover on it. It was kind of like a fur cover. It was very soft. I loved it. So she had me sit on the table and she asked me like what I was looking to get out of this session. Michelle and I hadn't really had any interactions aside from like me earlier that day saying that I was interested. So the first thing that she did was she opened the Akashic records so that she could get an idea of like where my energy was at, and it helps her connect with my energy as well. The first thing she said was that she's getting very strong spider energy, which is a very weird, I guess it's not weird, because she's literally like accessing universe records. So like, of course she would get this energy. But when she said that, I was like, okay, this is the real deal. Because my partner works with Loki, and when Loki has a message for my partner, Loki will send spiders to our house. And lately, I guess for the past 6 months or so, they have also been sent to me as messengers, which isn't my favorite. Ruben and I are both a little bit scared of spiders, but she was saying how there's a very strong spider energy attached to me, so I thought that that was really interesting, that was literally the first thing she said, and that's one of my strongest connections to my deities and spirit guides. So I'm not really going to go through step by step the whole healing. It was an hour session, and a lot of it was very personal, as you may expect. We did some guided breathing to get our energy levels up and kind of on the same, I really hate this word, but like the same vibration. During this breath work, for pretty much the first time that I can remember, I started feeling the like tingly vibration energy that people always talk about and I always thought was fake. I started feeling it in like directly in my forehead and kind of like at the top of my throat. So she started asking me questions about like different things, and a lot of it was very like personal trauma related stuff that we were trying to get to the root of so that we could work some of it out. That way I would have like a more open communication with my spirit guides. So she started touching the back of my neck. I was laying down at this point, so her hands were like under me, and eventually, as she was kind of working some of this energy out, she told me like, okay, now we're going to like spread this energy out because it's all concentrated in like this area, and it needs to like dissipate. And this was like one of the craziest feelings I've ever felt. As she started moving down my body and she was guiding me like how to breathe, and like it was mostly deep breathing at this point, but I could feel all of like the tingly sensation moving down my body. Most of it ended up settling in specifically in my pinkies, I don't know why, and in my legs below the knee, which made sense because she was trying to pull it out from my feet. She like physically walked down to my feet and like had her hands on them and was kind of going like this. One of the most important things I think for me that came from this was as we were doing the healing, she told me that it felt like I had a psychic block placed on me, and it seemed as though it was a block that I had placed on myself when I was very young. So that was something that we worked through, and we were able to remove that block. I say it in like just a simple sentence. I like cried for the whole time during this part. It was a lot, but we were able to remove that, and at that time my spirit guides came, and she was describing them to me, and that's something I kind of want to keep personal, but something that I thought was really interesting about that was I have always felt like I have more than one spirit guide, but I have always had trouble like separating them, I guess. It feels like there are multiple guides, but I'm only receiving one voice, if that makes any sense at all. So when I'm doing my like tarot and stuff, I'm only getting messages from like one of the multiple guides. And it turns out that my guides are actually a group of spirits who they almost have like a hive mind kind of mentality, like a groupthink mentality. So that makes a ton of sense why I keep feeling like I'm only getting one voice from multiple guides, it's because I am. She was describing their personality and saying how they were really loving and really caring, and how they were really trying to make sure that I was comfortable with things before pushing me into them, and I was like, yep, that sounds about right. At the very end of the healing, she told me that my guides were telling her that my animal messenger that they're going to be using for me now is a horned owl. She said when she got that message, the owl in her head had like an iron kind of mask on, and I thought that was really cool. So that was really exciting. I'm hoping for less spiders in my house. And I do live in an area where we do have owls and horned owls and stuff, so hopefully one will visit me at some point and I'll get really excited about it. I think that my energy healing and Akashic record reading was definitely life-changing, I guess. It was very much a spiritual awakening moment. Like, I'm literally getting choked up right now. I got out of my reading. She had me like slowly sit up and, you know, kind of come back into like her style of doing this is almost like hypnosis. So I was in there for an hour. It felt like maybe 15 minutes after everything. So, but anyway, after I left the room, I went back out, and my boss and my coworker were like, oh, how was it? And I was physically shaking. Like, my hands, I sometimes get shaky, but my hands were full on like this. It was more than just the usual shakes I get. I also needed to eat immediately. I had used so much energy during the healing that like I was starving. My boss laughed as I was shoving a granola bar in my mouth, because that's how it was for her when she got out of the reading as well. Or not the reading, the healing. But yeah, I guess my point for this video is if you feel called to do something, you should do it. If you have the opportunity to do something like this and you believe that the person is legit and not trying to scam you, because I do believe that there are people that do energy healing who are not... They're just scamming you. Like, they're not actually energy healers. But if you feel like you have a real person who can actually help you, you should try it. And I'm just really excited to see where this takes me in my practice. And I have like such a hunger for more knowledge, I guess, in my craft. So yeah, I'm just really excited to see where this takes me. And I just wanted to share some of it with you guys. I have all of it written in my notebook that I use for daily journaling, so eventually I'm going to transfer all of it into my Book of Shadows. Unfortunately, that's not a page I'm going to be sharing with you guys, because I barely scratched the surface, believe it or not, in all the stuff that we covered in my healing. Like I said, a lot of it had to do with like trauma and stuff like that, and I'm just really not willing to share all of that with the internet. But yes, that will be something that's going in my Book of Shadows because it's very important to me. And I think that's all I have today. I feel like I've been talking forever. My camera says yes, indeed, I have been talking forever. So I'll get this wrapped up. My coffee is ice cold. There's like this much left in there, so that's just great. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you are all having a wonderful end of winter as we start to approach Ostara and Beltane, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!